Let's have a look tonight at the unboxing of that Duo Discus from Tomahawk. First thing, I love those Reebok bags. That's what I use for my big scale plane, and I think that the bags for the fuse at that scale are definitely worth it because they're going to get banged around, and I think the protection is really good. So I would suggest, if you're going with those products, to take the bags for the fuse. It's really worth it. So here's the fuselage. It's very similar to the fuselage that you have seen on the video of the SG32. This time one piece canopy as it's a Duo. There's 2 instrument panel. And of course the seats. The inside of the fuse is of course glass here on the front of the leading edge, and the back is all carbon. So all carbon for the tail, a little bit of reinforcement in the front, but all carbon on the back, so put the antenna in the front. One thing also to note is the shape of the nose. The SG32 has been tweaked for fitting really well a spinner, meaning the nose of the Duo is a little bit hooked, so definitely putting a nose cone going to be a little bit more challenging, and using a Torqueman Uni 6 or 8 will definitely take an advantage not to have a nose cone that is not matching the fuse. One other difference from the SG32 is the rudder servo is installed in the tail instead of being a pull cable, and of course the elevator is, I'm not sure you can see that well here, there's a slot in the fin. So the rudder on this one is hinged from one side. Pretty good fuse. I just pre-weighed that, and the empty weight for the SG32 was about 1.2 kilo, and here we're more in the round of 1.48 kilo. So a fuselage that is just a tad heavier than the SG32. But I'm really happy with the finish and how it works. You can see here side by side with the 32. So lengthwise, the 32 is maybe, I would say, 6 to 10 centimeters longer. As I was telling you, the fuse on this one can really match well a nose cone. So on this one, I have a Torqueman Uni 6. And that's exactly what I'm going to do on that Duo Discus. The wing joiners that come with it are very similar. You will see, so the wing joiner of the Duo Discus and the SG32. So the joiner of the Duo Discus is a little bit beefier, meaning thicker. It's also a sign that the airfoil is thicker on the Duos than it is on the SG32. The Duo Discus in terms of development was prior the SG32, so they probably did some optimization in weight, and that's what explained the SG32 is a little bit lighter. So let's look at the wings this time. So the wings, you have here the wings of the Duo and the wing of the SG. So the wing of the Duo is very characteristic with 3 dihedrals, and you have on that wing 3 moving surfaces with 3 potential servo flaps, inner aileron and outboard ailerons. So the outboard ailerons, you're not obliged to install servos. you can connect the two ailerons together, and so there is a piece of steel rod that is provided in the kit with that, or you can decide, like we will do, to put a teeny servo in there. Same manufacturer, a lot of carbon in there, hinge at the bottom for all the moving surfaces, so you can have, let me show you here, you can have a really decent throw for slowing down the plane for landing. So again, the Duo Discus in terms of design has been done a little bit before the ASG32. So you have the tips that are removable, because definitely, so as you can see, there is kind of carbon joiners for attaching that, and it's making the wing really characteristic of the Duo Discus and really pretty. Like that a lot. As a consequence, as the airfoil is a little bit thicker, as you have multiple dihedral, those wings are a tad heavier than the ASG32. The ASG32 is way simpler, just a single panel, 2 servos, thinner. So in terms of thickness, if you look the thickness here at the junction in between the 2 panels, in comparison, you will see that the airfoil is quite thinner on the ASG32. You will see also that in terms of cord, the cord of the ASG32 are thinner than the cord of the Duo. So the Duo going to have a little bit of penalty on weight, but a bigger surface area. So we should have very similar handling. In all, meaning the finished weight of the ASG32 is 6 kilo. We should probably end up in between 6.5 and 7 kilo for the Duo Discus. I think it should be a very interesting comparison in terms of how they fly. And regarding the stab, so the stab are, so as you can see, the stab of the ASG32 is a little bit bigger, a little bit thinner too. So on the cord is a little bit thinner, but the airfoil is also thinner. Here you have about 9 millimeter at the thickest point, and here it's about 11 millimeter. So I would say that in terms of aerodynamic development, I think the ASG32 is lighter, straighter, whereas the Duo Discus is probably a little bit heavier with more wing area. So they should, I'm hoping that it's evening out in terms of flight characteristics. So as it was the case on the ASG, all the control horns are in. So here's a brass one for the flaps. You have a composite one on the aileron, and on the outboard, the aileron has its an option. There is no control horn, so if you want to put the servo in there, you will need to put a control horn, but it shouldn't be a big issue. There's plenty of room to install servos. Has the airfoil is a little bit thicker. Of course, on the tip, you're gonna need a fairly thin servo if you want to mount here a servo. So the maximum thickness here would be 10 millimeter. So you probably need a 8 or 6 millimeter servo to put in that tip aileron. Overall, very happy about it. It's probably a little bit more compact to transport, so about 10 centimeter on the fuse, and as you have removable tip, it's shorter wings to travel, but as a consequence of the dihedral panel, here you have 2 bags for the Duo Discus, where on the SG you have only 1 bag where you can fit both wings and the stab. The build should start shortly, and I'll keep you posted on how the flying characteristics go. Thank you for watching.